We begin with the latest developments on the Russia-Ukraine war. Ukraine has struck Russia again, this time beneath the sea waves. Kyiv's security service detonated over a ton of explosives under the Crimean Bridge, targeting Russia's prized supply line. The underwater attack marks a new escalation in the ongoing Russia-Ukraine war. Ukraine Security Service, or the SBU, unleashed a meticulously planned underwater strike on the Crimean Bridge, detonating 1,100 kilograms of explosives and blasting the bridge's submerged pillars. The operation, which Kyiv says took months in the making and was meticulously planned, road traffic on the bridge linking Russia and the Crimean Peninsula was temporarily suspended. The bridge was a flagship project for Russian President Vladimir Putin. It consists a separate roadway and railway, both supported by concrete stilts, which give way to a wider span held by steel arches at the point where ships pass between the Black Sea and the smaller Azov Sea. This is not the first time the Crimean Bridge has been attacked. Previous blows came in 2022 and 2023, but this underwater operation marks a calculated shift in Ukraine's asymmetric warfare, precision sabotage that strikes deep at Russia's military logistics. The bridge, a key artery for moving troops and supplies into southern Ukraine. The timing of this latest attack is no accident. The strike comes just days after Ukraine's daring air raid on Russia's fleet of nuclear-capable strategic bombers, signaling Kyiv's escalating resolve to disrupt Russian logistics and project power deep into enemy-held territory. Now, Russian authorities have not yet commented on this blast on the Crimean Bridge. On Sunday, Kyiv said it destroyed Russian bombers worth billions of dollars in a large-scale drone assault on enemy soil as it geared up for talks with Moscow counterparts who explore prospects for a ceasefire. Now, in a spectacular claim, Ukraine said it damaged $7 billion worth of Russian aircraft parked at 4 air bases thousands of kilometers away, with unverified video footage showing aircraft engulfed in flames and black smoke. Russia, on the other hand, claims that Ukraine was behind the rail bridge blasts in its western border regions that derailed a passenger train. At least 7 people lost their lives and dozens of others were left injured in that incident on Sunday. Russia's investigative committee says terrorists acting on the orders of the Kyiv regime planned everything with maximum precision so that hundreds of innocent lives and civilians would come under their attacks. Mr. Yehor Brelian is a security analyst and associate professor of international relations at the Kyiv Aviation Institute. He is also a security analyst. He is now joining us live from Kyiv, Ukraine. There are two sides to this story. One side is that the president of Ukraine wants a peace deal. He is holding negotiations with Russia. And on the other, he's hitting Russian bombers, nuclear bombers, and now the Crimean Bridge. What does Ukraine want?
We want to get a victory, and we want to strike different military targets, and we can compare that Russian fighter jets, they bomb civilian targets in Ukraine, different civilian targets of Ukrainian cities like hospitals, schools, kindergartens, and other civilian infrastructure. On the contrary, Ukraine is targeting military targets, military objects such as air bases, military bases, and Crimea Bridge is one of legitimate targets for Ukrainian army and Ukrainian security and intelligence services, and we still remain open to peace negotiations, but Russia continues its war terror, and only today it was a horrific Russian attack on Sumy. And as of now, like 10 people were killed. And we, from Ukrainian side, destroyed these bombers with our creativity, and this secret operation, the spider web, was planned during the 18th months, and Ukraine can overcome Russia only by asymmetric warfare, and by that I mean different creative warfare, and we use drones, land drones, sea drones, and
Mr. Bradian, now
drones.
talking about
Drones is
drones,
a game changer. Yes.
now that you've mentioned the word or the terminology drones, we've seen over the past weeks that drones are being used in this war between Russia and Ukraine. And this seems like an escalation. There are critics who say that Russia is yet to respond to the Ukraine, Russian bombers' attack, and also to the Crimea Bridge attack. Do you think Kyiv or Ukraine is ready for Russia's response?
We are in the war for already more than 11 years, and 3 years of the Russian full-scale invasion. And during these 11 years, we have strengthened our military capabilities, and especially drones, but not only. And the only way how we can minimize these bombings of Ukrainian cities is to destroy Archer, but not Arrow. I will put it this way.
Mr. Bralian, why the escalation then? Because if we are talking about peace, we are looking for peace. The world is also looking for peace and asking for peace. The Ukrainian president is urging for peace. The American president is also urging for peace. Why this escalation? Why does it keep on happening?
I disagree with you that we can name the situation escalation, because it's our response to numerous Russian attacks on civilian objects, and we from Ukrainian side don't want to kill Russian civilians, but we want to destroy military bases. And regarding the peace negotiations, I want to say that yes, we want peace, but Ukrainians want peace more than other people, because we live through the war, and we live through daily bombing of different Ukrainian cities, and we live through these tragedies. And the US President Donald Trump wants to get peace, but he wants to get peace at any cost. And Russians, they don't want to have a peace. Yes, they can present their memorandums, their different documents, their different aspirations, how to get some settlements from Ukraine, how to legitimize the occupation of parts of Ukrainian territories, of 4 oblasts and Crimea. And actually, Russia was preparing to have an alternative roads through this Crimea Bridge. That's how they built a railway through occupied parts of Lugansk and Donetsk Oblast in order to unite and to have the alternative logistic ways for Russian military. And you also mentioned this catastrophe with Russian trains in Bryansk Oblast near the border with Ukraine. And this was done also to disrupt Russian logistics. And we can remember the first months of the Russian full-scale invasion, and Russians lost the battle near Kyiv in March 2022. First of all, due to the bad logistics and
Mr.
due
Brilliant.
to the disrupted logistics, yes.
All right, Mr. Brilliant, I'm sorry to cut you short, but we are out of time. Thank you very much for giving us time today and for talking to WION World is One today.
Thank you very much.